question of mine that I haven't talked about Sonic the Hedgehog through the movie at all on my channel. So this is going to be my spoiler review of the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie for whatever reason, then click off the video. Well, without further ado, this is going to be my experience and my spoiler review of the movie. Okay, so here's a bit of my experience before I talk about the movie. So when me and the person went to go see it, we spent a total of 5 to 10 minutes to find a parking spot to walk towards the movie theater to get snacks. And me being a Sonic nerd I am, I got the Sonic popcorn bucket, the Shadow the Hedgehog headband, and cup. So then, when we went into the movie theater, it was already like 5 minutes into the movie, so we had just walked in when Shadow knocked out of the gun soldiers. So I missed the part where Maria was playing Live and Learn on her guitar, and when the Eggman logo popped up when Shadow was waking up. Also, another thing, there was this guy sitting in our seats, I guess, but it wasn't anything that led to an argument. It was just a nice, can you get up or something, because I wasn't the one talking, because I just kept turning my head so I didn't miss a single second of the movie. But then when Sonic showed up with his duck floaty thing and they were about to race, we were already seated, so then we could watch the movie in peace. So one thing I'd like to say is that even though this movie was shorter than movie 2 by like 15 minutes, I still really liked the pacing of it. It didn't seem too rushed. Well, except for that one part where Shadow threw Sonic into a table and then he just punched him immediately and then it cut. Jim Carrey was like actually funny in this movie. He got me to laugh, like especially when director Rockwell had captured them or something, then Eggman said, "Can you believe this?" And then Gerald was like, "Yeah, a woman in the military." And also when they had like compared themselves to each other and they were like, it's like what two characters being played by the same actor. The action or CGI scenes were amazing and visually good to look at in this movie. Mainly during the Shadow and Sonic chase scene through the city and the grand and spoiler-inducing super fights. Yes, fights, plural. There was Super Sonic versus Shadow for like 1 minute. The amazing Super Sonic versus Super Shadow in the best of them all, Super Sonic and Super Shadow versus the gun robot things that Gerald has sent at them. And question, where in the world were Sonic and Shadow fighting at? Because it just looks like the same battleground from Avengers Endgame, but there was like lava, so I think they were in an area with erupting volcanoes or something. Side note that I think that doesn't really matter, but I like that they gave Ozzy subtitles. It was kind of funny, I guess, but back to director Rockwell. I hated her with a passion. Like, I get that she didn't trust, Sonic and his friends, even though the world was saved by Sonic twice from Robotnik and Wade. I mean, Knuckles fought off the biter. So her little theory doesn't make any sense. But hopefully she can have a redemption arc and come to trust Sonic and his friends. Speaking of not making any sense, how is Gerald alive? He says it himself that he's 110 years old. Like, I don't know what he did to live that long, but it worked for him until he just zapped out of existence. In regard to the final act of the movie, it was amazing. Sonic and Shadow having to stop the Eclipse Cannon from blowing up the Earth while Tails, Knucks, and Eggman have to try and steer it in a different direction, I guess, because they quote-unquote pissed on the moon, you idiot! Eggman's speech was beautiful. The only thing that was wrong with it is that he didn't say, "I come to make an announcement." I really thought Tom was dead though, because they made it weird. Like, they didn't show him until they came out of the tent. Like, I was actually scared for a bit. Also, Run It isn't even a bad song. Like, just because it's a country song, and I guess it doesn't fit the dark and sad tone of the movie, but at the same time, we have the song London Town in the movie. And I know it's a different situation because one is a soundtrack theme and the other is a credit song, but still. One weird thing to me was Commander Walter's death didn't really seem all that sad to me. Like, I thought he'd still be alive, but it's surprising that somebody in the Sonic movie couldn't survive the impact from that missile, but that's just me. Maria's death in this movie was more dramatic to me than the one in the games because she was only shot once, but I don't know where she was shot since she was shot in her heart in Shadow's memory of her death in the Dark Beginnings, and she was on the ground in Sonic X, but we all know that X isn't canon in the universe, I think. So how I think this one is more dramatic, because like the bullet was shot but it missed, and then this big fire just exploded, and somehow she was the only one who died. Like, Shadow can't be physically killed, so he has an excuse. But Gerald was like 60, so like, how did he not die from that. But I guess that concludes my spoiler review of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The only thing else that I guess I could talk about is the post-credit scenes with Metal Sonic and Amy. But again, I'm saving that for another video. And the other one was Shadow being alive, but that isn't really surprising because you literally cannot kill Shadow the Hedgehog, the second most popular character in the canon, the fictional character that real people simp over. That would be a crime. So yeah, that's the end of my Sonic 3 review and the rating that I give for this movie. So, the movie was visually amazing, the pacing amazing, the characters chef kiss. Although the movie isn't perfect because at the end of the day, nothing in the world is perfect. Even if, this is eye candy for Sonic fans and video game fans alike. So my rating for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a 9 out of 10. Not point anything, not 9.5, not 9.7, not 9.3, nothing. Just a 9 out of 10. If you have a problem, then I don't know what to say, but yeah, that's my rating. Anyways, this was and still is a great movie, and the #1 movie in America as of right now. So that wraps everything up. So I'll see you guys in my next video while I'll be talking about the post-credit scenes. And yeah, so I guess I'll see y'all later then. Peace. I don't have an outro saying, so yeah.